It is April 7th, 2025. It is approximately 6:02, and I call the Capital Improvement Planning Committee to order. First order of business is the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, first order of business, we have the approval of minutes for March 11th, 2024. Did you guys all have a chance to take a look at this?
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion that we accept the minutes of meeting 3/11/24 and 10/3/24.
Second. All right, is there any changes to any of these meeting minutes? All right, seeing none, I'll call for a vote. All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
All against? Okay. Next order of business is citizen comments. Is there anybody that wants to make any comments on anything I'm discussing today? No? Okay, seeing none, I'll move on. Public business first is reorganization of the committee. Haven't done that in some time, so we will need to reorganize. We need a chairman, vice chair, and a clerk.
Mr. Chairman, I vote that we nominate Paul Kenichi as chairman of the Capital
Okay.
Improvement.
Paul Kenichi as chairman. Is there any other nominations? Seeing none, I'll hold the vote. All in favor of Paul Kenichi as chairman, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right. Congratulations, Chairman.
Thank you.
Chairman, I'll go through the other two, and then I'll turn it over to you in a second. For vice chair, do we have any nominations for vice chair?
Mr. Chairman, nominate George Petrinos, Vice Chair.
Sure, why not?
Okay. Is there any other nominations for vice chair? All right, seeing none, call a vote. All in favor for vice chair, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, and we need a clerk. Any nominations for clerk?
Is there currently a clerk, Mr. Cunningham, a clerk? The clerk currently?
Yes.
Yes, he's currently the clerk.
Nominate him for clerk.
Okay. Any other nominations? All right, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right. Well, congratulations, Mr. Chairman, Vice Chairman, clerk. Oh, go ahead, Rich.
Quickly, thank you for chairing the committee and everybody who's put time in here. Any vacancies on this committee? People not here tonight, this would be the time to sort of ring the bell and say there is a vacancy and we would love to see the next person to participate.
We do have two vacancies because we had two had resigned. Doug and Kendra both resigned, so we have two opening spots. What's the, do we know what the exact count is for?
I think it's supposed to be 6
Six?
in the bylaws.
Yeah. Not including.
I thought it was 5 and an alternate, right?
No, not for us.
No, for CIP? We can look it up right now if you
Actually,
want.
I thought it was more.
So let's look it up while we're sitting
We
here.
had
Mr. Chairman,
More than 5.
Yeah.
We've had more than 6.
Mr. Chairman, I'd also like to thank Doug and Kendra for their time and
Absolutely,
service.
absolutely.
Wish them well in the matches.
Well, we have at least a minimum of two open.
Okay.
Talk among yourselves
Okay.
while everything's buffering.
Well, anyway, well, you can
Here we
announce
go.
that when we get it. Here it is. I think is it 7 or 6?
It's one member of the Board of Selectmen,
Yeah.
one member of the FAA, and 4 members at large. Okay? town administrator, town treasurer, collector, and town
Yeah, so
accountant.
there's two positions open.
Yeah.
All right, so if anybody's interested, I'd love to have you. All right, with that being said, I'm going to turn the chairmanship over to Paul, and let you finish off within the agenda.
Okay. Let's move on to the tasks at hand. If we could have both the fire chief and police chief come on up. Both have requests for vehicles. Police chief requests one new cruiser each year for the next 5 years. Fire chief is requesting one new fire cruiser for this fiscal year. We do have quotes for each department. If we could just get some background on each, what the usage is of these vehicles, where we are with maintenance, longevity, so and so. So, doesn't matter who speaks first, if we could just get some background on this very briefly.
First on the list. I'm requesting 5 cruisers over 5 years, so one a year. I provided 2 quotes, one for a hybrid Ford Explorer, the other one for a gas-powered Ford Explorer. If you notice, there's about $2,000 difference between the two. Preferably, I like to go with the hybrid. I pulled up some data from our gas cards for the month of December, which was one of the heaviest months that we used, the cars. The gas-powered cruiser, one of them had almost 1,000 miles, and it burned $343 worth of fuel. The other, which is a hybrid, same exact mileage, off by 3 miles, it burned $223 worth of fuel. So there was a significant difference between the two cruisers, $120 in savings a month on a hybrid. The cruiser that it would be replacing would be either a Cruiser 101 or 508. Both of those cars are running up to, they're about 90,000 miles right now. They're 2016 models, and they're at their end of lifespan for a line car. What we try to do is we try to assign 2 officers to a cruiser for their rotation, and they stay in that rotation for numerous of years. And the difference, the reasoning behind that is, if you're assigned to a car, it's like your work desk. You're gonna take care of it and maintain it. We've seen that with our line cars, the officers take a lot of pride in their cars. They clean them, they maintain them. And just recently, one of our old cars sold a municipal bid for $10,000. It shows that we take care of the cars, and this cruiser, as long as we purchase one cruiser a year, this will maintain our fleet at a good standing with the town.
You currently are running hybrid vehicles, correct?
Correct. So we have, right now, we have 3 hybrids, and the rest are all gas. I know there were some issues back in 2020 when the hybrids first came out. They had some issues, but since then, Ford has fixed the issue, and we have not had any issues with the hybrids.
Your preference is to continue with the hybrid?
Correct.
Okay.
Last year, we purchased a gas one, only because all the hybrids were sold out, and we just couldn't wait, so we purchased a gas Ford Explorer. But the $2,000 difference, it's gonna pay itself off within a few months.
Chief, do you have maintenance programs with this car, or just to a certain extent, and warranty coverage?
Just a regular bumper to bumper. We, for the most part, in the last, I would say 2-3 years, the only maintenance that we've had on the cruisers were oil changes, brakes, and tires. We've had good luck with maintaining cruisers. We deal with Rob's Auto, and he stays on top of all that maintenance that we do. If there's anything that needs to be covered in a warranty, we go to Place Motor, but for the most part, our cars are well maintained. We take care of them. We have a good fleet manager.
Any other questions for Chief Collins? I believe that the methodology you're looking at for vehicle replacement is a good one. We've done this before on a shorter period, I think, on a 3-year rotation, where it was known that each year you would replace one fleet vehicle. And it keeps the maintenance costs down because your fleet is much younger than.
Right,
than
so
it had
what
been.
we have to do is, we just have to notify MHQ. They're the main, McGovern MHQ is our main, the the company that we use to make these cars for us, and they usually want 3-4 months build time. So if I call them right now, it's gonna take them 3-4 months to build that car, only because they just put us in line, and when our number comes up, they build our car. So this is why it's important to have some kind of a plan for 5 years. That way, we can just tell them, every year, get us a car, save it to the side, so that way they don't run dry. Hopefully, we don't go through COVID again, but during COVID, it took them 2 years to get us a car.
Okay. Anything else?
That'll be it.
Chief Kochanowski?
Yeah, my replacement vehicle is for the Deputy Chief Inspector's vehicle. As you may or may not know, that was my old vehicle. It's approaching 12 years old. It's got 140,000 miles on it. The frame's starting to rust a little bit, so it's time for replacement. The new vehicle is a step up from a police cruiser, but it's used in a little bit of a different scenario. Sometimes it's required to go off-road or be at command at a fire or something, so I got one with a little beefier suspension and a little bigger engine because of the role that it serves. And we'll have that vehicle for 10 to 12 years. It's not like we're getting one every year. I mean, this vehicle's gonna be here long after I leave, so you're well aware of the use of the vehicle and what it's used for. We did go off the state bid price. I know that question came up. I was made aware of that. We did not get 3 quotes, but if you're on the state bid list, that's the lowest pricing you're gonna get from state bid. And I don't even think there's 3 companies in Massachusetts that do it. McGovern merged with MHQ, so now they're one company, and I only know of one other company that does that. I believe it's Minuteman and Foxborough, right?
Yeah, but McGovern stands out.
Yeah,
of all of them.
and again, they're on the state bid list, and you're not gonna get better pricing than off the state bid list, so. And I didn't go any crazy. We just got a base light package and 1 radio, and that's it.
Okay. Is there any questions for Chief Kochanowski and his proposal?
Just, yeah, one quick question. Chief, did you explore the hybrid also?
Yeah, again, it's a little, being a fire command vehicle, it's used in a little different scenarios than a police cruiser. Again, it may be asked to go off-road. The next model up has a little beefier suspension, a little bigger motor that can handle different types of terrain.
Okay, if we have no other questions, can I get a motion?
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, I'd like to motion that we update the 5-year capital plan to include 5 police cruisers, 1 purchased each year, and a fire command vehicle.
Motion on the table, any discussion?
I'm just looking for the total on the fire vehicle.
66, 769, 15.
So over the course of 5 years, that's $437, $437,985, 15. Because the cruises was 243.20. So we want to, I know that Rich is gonna probably need authorization to borrow, and we should probably put,
Numbers are good, round numbers are better. If you came up with 430-something and change,
I bring it, yeah, because I'm bringing it up because we ran into an issue where by the time we get to year 5, the prices have gone up, and we ended up having to pull that out of it.
Would you be looking for a bid on both that for this year? You want me to, a motion to buy both
you're
this year?
approving X dollars for Y units. So
So the total is 437 as it stands now with these quotes, 437,985. So up to 450 over the course of this 5 years.
Through the chair, would this include other stuff you may need in the cars, equipment with it?
So this,
Radios are-
what we do is we try to transfer a lot of the stuff, the radio from the old car to the new car. So this would include everything. We try to go after grant money for computers and stuff like that, but this would be, this would take care of everything in the car, but stop sticks, stuff like that, we just purchase out of our expense account.
Okay. So, I'll amend my motion.
That was 43,798.
To the penny, it's 437,985.15. If we did like a 10% contingency, it would be 481.
Through the chair, you gotta, it's the fourth and fifth year you're worried about, right? Inflationary
Well,
pressures.
Chair.
No, I get
Through
it.
the- Sorry.
Yeah,
You're
he's-
in the-
Oh,
you're in the-
I thought you were,
looking at
I thought you were talking to me.
You're the one to calculate.
Yeah, okay.
Would be to round it to 480.
I can amend my motion to include up to 481. Do you want to do that? Which includes a contingency?
That would satisfy it?
481,783 would be exactly 10%.
Why don't you do that?
481.
783.
783.
Second.
Yep. Rich? Yep. You look like you.
I'm smiling. You'd want to, if we could identify the cost of the one fire vehicle with the 10%, and then you'd be able to figure out everything else.
You want a round number, or you want the exact number?
So are you suggesting we pull out the 2 quotes for this fiscal year? for the
No,
purchase?
just so that it's not the 481 divided by 6. It's a single item that has that contingency on it, and then there's 5 items at another price with the 10% on it.
67,000, if you want a round number,
Make that part of your motion, then 67.
for the fire.
Separately.
67, and then what is it for the 5 years on the PD?
It would just be the difference between the 67 and the 481.
Give me a number.
14,796.
So you want me to amend my motion, Mr. Chairman, again?
Yes, please.
All right, so
Once
I'll
we get
amend-
those numbers,
Yeah,
if it satisfies the fiduciary,
yeah.
just to simplify it.
So we're going with 67.
So 60.
So the difference between 67 and the 481 is 414,783.
All right. How about, I move that we accept the 2 vehicles on the 5-year capital plan, with the fire vehicle being $67,000 and the 5 police cars up to 400, what'd you have, John?
414,000
How about if I round it to $415,000?
up to.
Up to.
Yep, okay.
Does that cover us?
Excellent.
Correct?
You want the exact number, Rich?
If you can identify all 6, we are good.
Okay, so we'll go with the numbers on the amended, on the amendment.
All right, I'll second that.
Okay, you'll second that. Any discussion? Seeing no discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any no? Motion passes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for your time. Next on the agenda, Waterline, Eagle Drive neighborhood. Jeff Falker. If we could just get a synopsis of what we're looking at here.
Mr. Chairman, while Jeff's getting settled, he's working under that $600,000 grant that we recently got from DEP for the scope and design and costing for the waterline project on Eagle Drive. So what we thought we would do tonight is have him describe the project, add a number, not the final number, but a number to that plan, and a projected construction date if it passes at town meeting.
Okay.
Mr. Chairman, I shouldn't have to recuse myself because it's a town project, not a water department.
Understood, yes. It's yours.
Jeff Faulkner from Ty and Bond, here to speak to the Eagle Drive Water Main Extension construction article that's recommended for town meeting. So the town is proceeding with the design of a water main extension on Fairview Avenue, Eagle Drive neighborhood to deal with some contaminated private wells. A conceptual project memo was developed a year plus ago, which estimated the very conceptual project cost at $14.2 million. The town has applied for SRF, State Revolving Fund construction funding, which the final list is hopefully coming out by the end of April, early May. If the town is successful on that, that would entertain that project being funded at a 0% interest loan and some principal forgiveness as well. The project would entail extending the water main as well as connecting up the houses that choose to connect to it, that abut it along the way. The work within the roadway would be SRF eligible. The work on private property would be SRF ineligible, but the total value of the project at this point is conceptualized at $14.2 million. The actual design is just beginning, so that number would be refined over time. But the funding agency's requirements is that the article or that the project be funded for construction by June 30th of this year. So that's why it's going into this meeting.
Okay. Thank you. Questions?
Mr. Chairman, I will mention that we have a series of 3 public hearings that we've scheduled or in the process of finalizing scheduling to talk about the scope of the project. We're working on cost-sharing agreements, we're working on some legal issues, and we'll have those additional details coming up during those public hearings.
Okay, so it may not be as scary as it perceives to be.
Between the 0% financing, there's probably an 18%, is that what they were looking at for loan?
10 to 20% likely.
Yeah.
The town as the primary, or as the lead agency or the lead applicant, if you will, they would have to fund all $14.2 million as a frame of reference. Any other cost sharing would come off of that, over time.
And again, this is, we're sharing, we're working towards sharing costs with the other involved party, which is Gentex. We're talking to the water and sewer commissioners about the project to see what their role will be in terms of the financing end of it. So details will emerge, but we wanted to get it onto the capital improvement plan just
Get it
because
onto
of
the
the
next
quick
step.
turnaround.
And this will satisfy the needs for permanent remediation in that neighborhood.
It's a permit, it's a solution to the neighborhood. The remediation of the POET system, the solution is the water line itself.
Final six. Okay. All right, thank you. Questions, thoughts, comments? Okay, do I hear a motion? Yes, okay.
Just one quick question. So the 14 million is basically kind of an educated guess, right? I would say
It was developed based off of knowledge of how the market's been trending, a similar project several years ago, and a initial estimate of the quantity of materials that would be required for this job.
do we have anything to look at that sort of?
Yeah, I do have the cost that was developed.
this include the, we had a number like 925,000 for the engineering. Is that in
Does
the
it include the
14?
engineering? The design engineering is covered by a grant, so not involved in this number at all. The number here does present the engineering that would be involved during the construction phase.
So,
I was gonna say, I think Mr. Rudy can speak to that.
so I remember what Mr. Cunningham was talking about. There was we had proposed a $900,000 article, which failed at town meeting, and that was to get in front of the scope and design, which is in anticipation of getting a $600,000 DEP grant, so they weren't up against it like we are now. But, so we waited for the grant to come through, and so we're operating under that grant. So
Okay.
600,000 of that, 900,000 was for what Jeff is working on now under the grant, and the balance of that was for Eagle Drive testing, ongoing testing, and poet system maintenance and that sort of thing.
Okay. Mr. Carmignani.
Through the chair. Good evening, Jeff. Looking for approval for 14.2, and very clearly, the SRF is only going to fund the eligible portion, so we can't net out ineligible construction costs because it's viewed as a single project. We're not just doing a part of. So tonight, very clearly, we want to go through and authorize none of it or all of it. It's not a, you can't choose. There's great oversight for the SRF in that there's an upfront engineering design, and the validation is the approval of the project, that it has merit and fits within the scope of the SRF. And this has got to be project number 6 or 7 in the last 5 years for the town. And it is one of the things I think the state does well. It made reference to principal forgiveness, zero interest. If anything, you're given almost your construction financing. There's no upfront borrowing costs, at least for the eligible portion. So we've had success previously, if I could just add.
Rich, you just said authorize. We're not really authorizing anything here.
You're accepting the 14.2
Just-
to move it onto the plan for the Board of Selectmen
Right.
to accept, and fingers crossed it gets into
Yeah.
the 2 points. We get a town meeting approval, we get SRF selection, and we're on our way to a solution to an issue.
So then all we're being asked tonight is to add this as a
That's it.
capital project to the plan, but we're not authorizing any.
The expenditure or
Any
anything else.
expenditures
That's
or
for
That
town
has to
meeting.
be
This is
authorized
all
by
town
town
vote.
meeting.
This all comes from the
This is
town.
just to move it to the next step.
Correct.
Then,
Okay.
And then, Mr. Chairman, after tonight, I think it's on the agenda for the Board of Selectmen FAA tonight, but after we've taken our votes and we have a record of it, I'll ask Olivia to do a memo for us, and maybe on behalf of capital improvement, Mr. Chairman, you can sign it, and we'll submit it to the next joint meeting, so there's a document to accompany the vote. We'll have the Board of Selectmen vote on it then.
Okay. Anything else? No other questions? Could I get a motion?
I'll move that we add Eagle Drive Waterline Project to the capital improvement, 5-year plan, total of $14,200,000.
Motion on the table. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a second. Any discussion? Seeing no discussion? Take a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Any abstain? Motion passes.
Thank you, Jeff.
Jeff, are you staying till after? Okay, thank you.
Thank you for your time. Okay, let me see, last but not least, senior center renovation. Mrs. Johnson? Oh, what?
While Mrs. Johnson is getting settled, I'll just update the committee real quickly. This was originally put on the plan, was the senior center renovation. The Dudley Women's Club has generously donated $30,000 in materials, labor, to do that renovation, so there's no cost to the town. It's all through donation, but we wanted to get the plan updated so that work could begin this fiscal year and next fiscal year for the intersection. So we're just updating the plan, basically.
Want to just give us a quick rundown of what work will be and...
Sure. So we're hoping, we want to spice it up. So what we're going to do is we're going to rip the rug up and put a floor in, I'm sorry. And put in a floor that's heavy-duty, non-slip. So it'd be a regular floor that can be washed and not a rug. And strip the wallpaper, paint, new ceiling tiles, new cabinet hardware, just spruce it up for the seniors so it's cleaner, brighter. That's really the goal of the whole thing, is to just make it nicer.
Okay, thank you. Any questions?
In March, when we looked at this, it was almost 40,000. It was 39,833. So you're saying that we've got 30,000 from the women's club,
That's correct.
and that'll cover it.
We're gonna use that money, and that will be the end of the project. For now.
Anything else? Okay, motion to accept?
Motion to accept.
Second?
Second.
Any discussion? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstaining? Motion passes.
Thank you.
Thank you
Thank
for your
you.
time.
Motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn is on the table?
Second.
Second? Thank you very much, everyone.
Rich has a thing.
I'm sorry?
So officially, we're making a motion to, it's all been added, and as Mr. Ruda said, there should be the motion that says we'll be moving the updated plan for acceptance to the Board of Selectmen. It's a compliance piece, so if I could have that reflected in the minutes.
Well, so it'll reflect in the minutes, my advisory to move to vote the plan tonight, update it on the document, move
And
those.
submit it at a-
Submit them to the Board of Selectmen at an upcoming meeting in April.
Great,
That satisfies everyone?
I think so.
excellent.
Okay. Thank you very much, everyone.